What's going on, guys? Today I'm going over how I went from dropping out of college to working 2 9-to-5s to booking a one-way flight to Thailand to start traveling the world and living life on my terms. So let's go ahead and dive straight in. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off from the very beginning of this journey. I was in university doing the normal university stuff, partying, drinking, doing all that degenerate stuff, and just wasn't living a very fulfilled life. I was just living for pleasure, not living for purpose, and just doing what everyone else wanted me to do, and not doing what I wanted to do for myself. And that all changed for me. Like, what actually changed my path was this actually a shroom trip in my friend's dorm. I was looking myself in the mirror and I was thinking to myself, okay, am I actually living life how I want to live it? Or am I living life based on what other people think I should actually live my life? And from that introspection, looking in my life and thinking, okay, well, I'm actually not doing what I want to do. I'm going down a path I don't really want to go down. I need to actually change paths in order to go down a path I actually want to go down for myself, that actually makes me fulfilled, and start living a life of purpose instead of living a life of pleasure, which was the biggest takeaway I got from like this shroom trip. And that's when I decided for myself I wanted to drop out and kind of go down my own path to see like what I could create for myself. And that's when I dropped out like a few months later, and then I started working 2 9-to-5s. I started working at RaceTrac, which is this gas station job, doing the cashier stuff, cleaning the toilets, taking out the trash. And that was a very miserable time. I was working from like 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And pretty much the turning point for me from that job was, I was working for this Indian guy. He was telling me to do shit I didn't want to do. When I was taking the trash out, a lot of the time there's a lot of pokey stuff that would poke at the trash bag. It would break the trash bag and I would get trash can juice all over my hands. And it was very cold at the time, so it was like very warm, disgusting juice all over my hands. I could smell it. It was a very miserable point in my life. Now, I had another job as well. I worked from like 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. at this RaceTrac job, and I would go to the gym for a few hours, and then I would go straight into my second job, which was working at Red Lobster, which is a seafood restaurant, as a server. Now, this server job, I can't complain about it much. It was a lot better than working at RaceTrac. I was making probably like $250 to $300 a day working as a server, and at RaceTrac probably making like $115, $114 a day. It was like $14 an hour for 8 hours or something like that. So it wasn't bad money, but I was working my entire life away at both of these jobs. I would work until probably like 9 p.m. from like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. at night at this Red Lobster job, and I would go home, play some video games, maybe smoke some weed, maybe jerk off, go to sleep, and repeat that whole day again. And at these jobs, I was thinking to myself, like, while I was like listening to music, taking out the trash at this RaceTrac job, which I'm actually thankful for, because that shit life that I was living at the time, just slaving away for the money I was making, I was thinking to myself, okay, I dropped out of college and now I'm just making money, but I'm not able to have time freedom or location freedom. I'm not able to actually travel the world and do what I actually want to do in life. So I started a few different online businesses. I tried day trading, e-commerce, drop shipping, all these different sorts of things. I even tried crypto and had no success whatsoever. And that was mainly because of me. That was because of my knowledge, my inputs, and my habits that ultimately led to my demise with each of these different businesses. Because all of these online businesses, they do work. Some of them are scams, but other than that, like day trading, there's a few people that are very successful, but I just didn't have the right knowledge. I didn't have the right skills in order to succeed, and ultimately didn't have the right discipline. And I wasn't the type of person that was able to actually succeed in these businesses. Because it's none of these businesses that failed. It was me who failed, and me who ended up not going down the path towards success with either one of these businesses. And then one night I was sitting alone in my room. My parents were very strict. I couldn't have any girls over, so I was just sitting alone all the time in my room. And I was watching YouTube, and I was seeing these people live the life I wanted to live out in Koh Samui, which is like an hour away from here by flight. Having the time of their lives. And they looked my age. They were like in their 20s, sitting by the beach, smoking cigars, boxing, doing all the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to experience that type of freedom for myself. So a little bit of digging around, a little bit of research, I found a link to a course which was like $5,000. I had no idea what it was, like what business it was, but I had nothing else better going for me, and pretty much just spent $5,000 on a whim that, there's got to be some type of knowledge, some type of skill that they have that provide them the ability to start living that life full time. So after buying that course, $5,000 down the drain, my mom thought I got scammed by this person overseas because it was all the $5,000, like it was all the money I really had, and it was just down the drain. So my mom was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried myself that I got scammed, but turns out it was like a course about remote sales where you pretty much call and sell people online anywhere in the world for these online businesses who teach people a certain skill, like day trading, e-commerce. There's people that have already succeeded in those businesses, and now they're coaching and teaching other people how to do that exact same business. And they're only one person, but they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, people trying to learn from them. And with remote sales, you're literally just standing right in the middle of that cash flow from their audience and that coach, mentor, whoever it may be. So from there, I pretty much learned the fundamentals back in the US in my parents' house. I was learning how to sell, learning what remote sales was all about. And I landed my first offer in this B2B AI agency. And with this AI agency, I thought I found a goldmine of an offer because AI is very new. I was thinking to myself, man, I landed my first goldmine of an offer right away. But a month in, 2 months in, I made absolutely $0. After setting countless appointments, none of them were being closed. A lot of them weren't even showing up. And then I found out that, we weren't closing any deals as an offer overall. So that's when I thought to myself, okay, well, this offer is absolute shit. Quit that offer. And then found another B2B offer, which was like this roofing agency. Now, this roofing agency had very high hopes in my eyes because they already closed some deals. They were already making money as a business. So I had very high hopes. So guess what, guys? I saved up, or actually got a loan for $1,500 from this ex-drug dealer back in my hometown, booked a one-way flight to Bangkok, and you guys probably know the story if you watch my videos, but basically went to zero because that offer was, again, absolutely shit. I made $0 my first 2 months out here in Bangkok, Thailand, had a fast. Luckily, I found my girlfriend now, the second night I was here, paid for my coffees, some food from 7-Eleven to keep me afloat while I was down the path to succeeding with remote sales. Now, you guys might have thought I would have went home after I reached $0. You might have thought I would have given up, just went back to the 9-to-5, which of course was an option. My parents were begging me to come back home because I was not making any money. I was losing hope in myself as well. But with the last few dollars I had, started networking out here in Bangkok, Thailand, met the right person at the right time, and landed my first offer in the B2C space, which is a lot more easier to sell than like a B2B offer because you have very warm, hot leads that you're talking to that are already pretty much ready to buy. And I just started setting appointments as an appointment setter for this day trading coach. I don't want to say his name. I don't know if that's any trouble, but pretty much my first night as an appointment setter in Bangkok, it was like 2 months in, $0 to my name. And the first call, it was like this, it was a very new offer at the time, but my very first call as a setter, I hopped on the phone, and luckily enough for me, it was a very hot lead. I was on the phone, he was diving in, like I literally picked up the phone, introduced myself, hey, my name is Ryan Little, I'm with X, Y, and Z, and then he just went straight into all the pain he was having with day trading, how he didn't have the right strategy, his psychology was failing him, he was having no success, and everything he was saying, I was looking at the offer sheet, which kind of tells you like what's included in the offer, and I saw what exactly he had pain for. I could provide him the solution with what this mentor was helping him so after listening to him, it was like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, him just crying, complaining about all this stuff with day trading. I was like, oh shit, man. Well, this offer right here, it'll be able to help you with X, Y, and Z. And I pretty much just sold him as an appointment setter without any legitimate sales skills as a closer. Like I was just trained to be an appointment setter. I had no closer training at this point in time. But luckily enough for me, he was a hot enough lead. I closed him right there on the spot. And other than that, the CSO at the time, he kind of knew my situation. He knew I was flat broke in Thailand. I couldn't eat. I couldn't pay for rent, electricity, Wi-Fi, all this type of stuff. So right after I got this deal, he just sent me $350 commission right there. And I was able to finally eat. And then from there, I literally just scaled up from there. From an appointment setter, went to the Philippines, locked myself in a room in this Airbnb. I had no friends in the Philippines. That was actually the darkest time in my life. It was just so boring. I would just do remote sales each and every day. Scaled up to like 4K a month, 6K a month. And then luckily enough for me, one of my friends, he was transitioning offers from being a closer on this one offer to another offer. And he was choosing between two different offers. And he chose one offer. And then this other offer as a closer, they needed a closer. So I hopped on a call with that CSO for that opportunity. sold myself as a closer, and transitioned to a closer. Like 3 months in my remote sales journey out here in Bangkok, Thailand, and literally went from like 4K a month to 12K a month, literally within 30 days. And that's kind of the difference between setting and closing, especially if it's a gold mine of an offer. You can literally start changing your income within a few days, depending on the offer that you're on. Because guys, I mean, with remote sales, it doesn't matter how good of a salesman you are. You could have the best salesman in the world on the worst offer in the world, and he's gonna be making absolute shit compared to the worst salesman in the world on the best offer in the world. So literally went from like a B rated offer to an A+ offer as a closer, and literally just skyrocketed my income within 30 days. And I was supposed to stay in the Philippines for like a month or two to stack up cash, stack up income, and scale. But I literally scaled within 30 days and left my Airbnb early to come back to Bangkok because, guys, to be honest, I kind of did miss my girlfriend. I missed my friends out here. I missed the lifestyle that was here in Thailand that I wasn't able to have in the Philippines because I had no friends there. It was just me alone in my Airbnb, focusing on remote sales. So I missed the life I had out here. So I was at 12K a month now. I was like, okay, well, I can actually just go back to Bangkok and live my life very comfortably because, guys, you really only need 2 to 3K a month to actually live out here very comfortably. But 10K a month, I mean, you can absolutely start balling out of control. So I invested in a few masterminds, mentorships, and stuff like that, and scaled to 20,000 a month, and then started going to like Dubai, Bali, Malaysia. Went back to the USA to visit family, and then came back out here to Bangkok. So I mean, guys, I mean, all it really takes to go from the 9-to-5 lifestyle to taking a risk, taking relentless action, and taking a very big leap. Because I mean, leaving my hometown was, I think, definitely the most crucial part of this journey, because I was able to surround myself with very successful people in the area I wanted to be successful in, which was remote sales. And there was no way possible that I would be in the position I am today if I had just stayed in my hometown, working the 9-to-5, and just stayed in that comfortable life that I was living. So what I recommend to you guys today: take risk, whatever risk it is. Take a very calculated risk towards your goal. If you want to make $10,000 a month anywhere in the world and start traveling, you need to find a way to make money online. And that's what I found out for myself. I wanted to go wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and make how much money I want to make. And working at Racetrack and Red Lobster, that would have never provided me the ability to do so. So that's why I took the risk, invested in myself, learned from someone who's actually a real guru and not from a fake guru that I was learning from in college and university. I went to college for business. And my business professor never owned a business, never touched 6 figures in her life, and drove a Honda Civic to work, which was absolutely beat up. So how do you expect to ever learn the right skills from the wrong person? You can't. You have to learn from the right person, do the right actions, take calculated risk, and guaranteed success will be right around the corner. Of course, it might not be easy, because I mean, I came out here with $1,500. It was not easy. I mean, I had to fast. I had to rely on my girlfriend to buy me food. And it was not a very, very easy time. But as long as you have the grit, you have the motivation, you have that end goal, that desired reality that you want in your head, even in the hard times, you'll be able to get out of it. And then you'll be able to reach the other side of your goals and then start traveling the world and start unlocking true freedom, which is right on the other side of taking a massive risk and taking the right actions, doing the right inputs in order to get the right output. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.